In the heart of the African savannah, where waves of heat shimmer over golden grasses and the wind carries the scent of dust and danger, every heartbeat is a gamble for survival. Life here is never given, it must be earned. In this vast and unforgiving landscape, animals face daily struggles over a patch of land, a meal, or simply another day under the relentless sun. Among these inevitable clashes, one of the most iconic is the confrontation between the mighty lion and the fierce African warthog. The lion, feared sovereign of the plains, stalks with lethal patience, gliding like a shadow through the tall grass. Opposite him, the warthog, swift, clever, and surprisingly fearless, fights for its life with sharp tusks and a tenacity that has thwarted many predators before. In a realm where nothing is guaranteed, there are no eternal victors, and no prey surrenders easily. Only creatures that give everything they have, driven by one of the planet's oldest instincts to survive one more day. The untamed savannah offers no luck, and even less mercy. Here, every step is already a small victory. African warthogs are among the few species able to endure temperatures approaching 40 degrees. This small family, when known as a sounder, is made up of strong females and the generations that follow. Their shelter lies in ancient warthog burrows' natural engineering marvels, crafted by life itself to regulate temperature and keep them cool under a sun that can melt everything, or turn into the final exit from this world. Nothing is guaranteed. In the wild, innocence often means an early farewell. The leopard, the ultimate solitary hunter, prowls in search of a mistake. Death rarely announces itself. If it strikes the back or legs, The warthog can still fight back with a brutal headbutt or bite, but the neck, that is the final strike. The hyena, by contrast, needs little effort. Like an unyielding collector, it embodies another harsh law of this realm. Within the leopard, its biological engine never stops demanding. It needs to consume at least 4 kilos of fresh meat a day to keep its body running, leaving no choice but to hunt again. Once more, the forest warthog becomes its target. Ample meat, rich in protein. The thick layer of fat under the skin turns into a valuable energy source. Its large, nutrient-rich organs are easily digested. In the dry season, its strong scent drifts on the wind, attracting opportunistic scavengers without shame. But this time, there is no room for humiliation. The hyena had not expected such determination from the leopard. Now, the priority is to get the prey up into the tree as quickly as possible. Few can reach the feline's hanging pantry. Yet one question arises: is the forest warthog truly a helpless victim destined to be shared by all? This Roman legion is about to reveal the truth. The African wild dog boasts one of the highest hunting success rates on the continent, reaching an impressive 80%. This reputation is no accident. The forest warthog would never imagine these hunters daring to chase it under the blazing midday sun. Yet hunger respects no schedule. African wild dogs feed all at once, devouring their prey within minutes. Perhaps this would have been a swift end for the unfortunate warthog, though not without pain. Many say that God created all creatures with care, but in moments like this, it seems the divine gaze turns away, leaving nature to decide who earns the right to see another dawn. Those who survive are no longer capable of enduring further loss. Even in a group, those sharp tusks give pause. The forest warthog knows that the dry season and the crushing midday heat are relentless foes for any hungry animal. Its breathing is rapid, yet within that panting lingers a trace of pride. The dry season tightens its grip on every living being in the savannah. Still, the warthog seems to defy that decree. It survives on tough roots, dry tubers, and withered grasses, sources many other animals ignore. It can also go several days without drinking, reducing its activity when the sun is at its peak to conserve energy. But today, its endurance has reached the limit. That small puddle might be a lifeline or an ambush. A bite capable of exerting 22,000 newtons could erase any hope of tomorrow. Most predators avoid hunting under the blazing sun. The cheetah is the exception. The dark streaks beneath its eyes absorb intense light, reducing glare and allowing it to spot a distracted warthog returning from water. The Ferrari of the animal kingdom is already in motion. Even if the prey is not an adult, for a hunter in a hurry like the cheetah, that is more than enough. The mother, who escaped just moments earlier, watches helplessly as her young is snatched away. Soon, hunger returns, for such a small meal is insufficient. Once again, the feline is driven back to the hunt. If it were a lone cheetah, the outcome might be different. But this mother has been hardened by loss. She will not let another child be taken. The cheetah is left shattered, its body overheated, lungs begging for air after a failed chase. Only water can save it now. The dry riverbed offers no mercy. Those who live on the edge often die by it. Nothing lasts forever in this wild kingdom. Even the bonds between members of the same species have limits. Once they reach adulthood, the privilege of family protection ends. Young male forest warthogs are driven out of the sounder. During mating season, they may be allowed back, though, of course, not gently. Face to face, tusks and claws are ready to rend rivals apart. Only one will earn the right to pass on its genes. They say God created Eve from Adam's rib, but here, to claim their Eve. These Adams must be willing to break each other's ribs. Yet, in the end, it is the female who takes the supreme place. The lion is an explosive sprinter, not a long-distance athlete. Though it can reach speeds of up to 80 km/h, it can sustain that pace only for brief moments. If the first attack fails, it usually gives up, exhausted and overheated. That is why the dry season is far from a lion's favorite time. During these months, it must choose safer prey. Why the forest warthog? Because it occupies a perfect point in the food chain, not too fast. Plenty of meat, and with clear vulnerabilities. Its deep burrows, once safe havens, now often become shared graves. The lionesses are the true hunters. The territory's males arrive only after the job is done. This hierarchy contrasts sharply with more humble predators, like African wild dogs. Even a quick farewell is a rare luxury here. Have you imagined a cruel theater of learning indeed? The lioness does not kill the warthog immediately. She needs a living target for the first lesson. By 6 months of age, the cubs must awaken their hunting instincts. The increasingly weakened warthog becomes the sacrifice that drives the predator's evolution. Relentless. Fear spreads like a contagion. The female warthogs form a protective wall around their own. By the end of the dry season, the savannah looks as if it has survived an eternal fire. It reveals the raw truth of this kingdom when hunger rules the mind. The crown feels like an unbearable burden. An old, battle-hardened warthog would be a feast fit for a king. Cortisol surges in the blood, turning sounder sisters into rivals in an instant. Many see this empire as pure irony, but the greatest humiliation is yet to come. Across the scene, the warthog already senses the lions are at their limit. Stepping into the open in front of hungry predators is only the first part of its plan. Its true advantage lies in multiple escape routes. Confusing the enemy is the strategy. No, this is not suicidal. It is pure provocation. The lion's speed always surpasses that of the warthog, but a glance at the sun's reflection makes it clear that today luck has chosen a different side. They say God opposes the proud and grants favor to the humble. What we witness is less fury, more helplessness. Panting, exhausted, this is how the tyrants appear now. Rumors will soon spread with the wind. Today, the throneless kings become objects of mockery in this harsh, parched land. Even those hiding in the water, like the hippos, had heard of the humiliation suffered by the lions. It only fueled their anger. Not even while drinking could they escape the mockery. The hippopotamus has never been an animal easy to intimidate. It is one of Africa's most respected giants. The lion's reaction was etched into the hippo's memory. It knows exactly where the feline's weakness lies. Even with 3 males present, the lions lost that confrontation. Since then, they watch the younger hippos, those that appear vulnerable, but experience has taught them not to provoke a fight. One wrong move near the water, and everything can collapse. No creature can survive without it. The dry season in southern Serengeti still offers one last fertile respite for all. The great migratory herds from the north are about to arrive, and what they will find is not limited to Golden Plains alone. The proud royalty has already awakened at the thundering of hundreds of hooves. Some lions barely caught a whiff of grass before tasting their own blood. The drought is harsh, but it allows the lion to hide among the parched vegetation, a small, yet useful comfort. This is the best meal it has had since the dry season began. However, an adult male can consume up to 40 kilos of meat in a single sitting. So this is far from satisfying. And the herds do not arrive with wildebeests alone. Zebras bring abundant meat and offer less resistance, making them tempting targets. The lion can effortlessly anticipate the route they will take. Without the presence of wildebeests, the zebras lose all sense of direction. And you may have noticed something else. It is the lionesses who do the bulk of the hunting. Smaller, agile, and flexible. They secure the food while the larger, muscular males remain to guard the territory. The Cape buffalo, another resident of vast herds, does not share a serene view of life in a group. In their society, the role of the males is heavy, and the females often fall victim to episodes of sheer brute force. Like wildebeests and zebras, buffaloes must keep moving tirelessly in search of water. They are true biological tanks, capable of exceeding 800 kilos. For a lion, they represent a feast fit for royalty, though it comes with enormous risk. Yet the lionesses work in numbers and with strategy. Such a prey could feed an entire pride for several days. However, overconfidence is a grave mistake, especially for a hunter whose success rate is not the highest. A single headbutt is enough to shatter both illusions of triumph and the sense of dominance. When pride is wounded, fury takes over. The rulers of the savannah fix their gaze on another target. The young buffalo has no idea which way to run. The lioness leaves it no choice. In this isolated corner, its parents no longer hear the desperate cries. Soon, a mother will notice the absence in the herd, but by then, it will be too late. The vultures clean up the meal with such efficiency, it is as if no hunt ever took place. All that remains is the dry earth and a faint scent of blood hanging in the air. And that trace is enough to ignite the fury of the returning adults. A collective explosion of rage, 600 individuals. A living wall of horns and muscle rises. Two lionesses find themselves trapped, trembling, small and vulnerable before this advancing black tsunami. At last, the hunting season during the migration reaches its climax. Those who sow the winds may reap the storms. Even when the hunt is successful, the lion's feast may not unfold as expected. The spotted hyena do not call it a cowardly scavenger that lives only on leftovers, underestimating the legendary power of its jaws. That would be an insult, for 90% of what it consumes comes from its own hunts. The remaining 10% is precisely today's case. The lioness did not even wait for the male to arrive. This frenzied crowd knows no fear. Hyenas raiding the king, a scene as absurd as it is brutal. Yet pride has always been the sweetest poison before a fall. The cheetah is often the primary victim of such assaults, with its weak jaw and exhausted body after extreme sprints. They may intimidate the queen. But when it comes to the true king, anyone claiming they could emerge victorious against him only reveals their arrogance and folly. Even a king carries his own biological limitations. Without his lionesses at his side, he would face enormous challenges. A king and his wild queens, you can likely imagine which way the balance tips. Yet the appearance of a rival can completely alter destiny. This is why the lion needs allies to survive, and that need becomes even more vital when it comes time to contest the throne. At 3 years old, young males are expelled from the pride forever. One day, these wanderers will return, but no longer as innocent cubs. Is the savannah ready to welcome a new king for the prey? Nothing changes. And they continue to fight, simply to stay alive. Which part of this struggle for survival among wild animals impressed you the most? Share your thoughts with us. In other corners of Africa, Life and hope have been granted to those truly deserving. The Chobe River, with its blue waters winding through the dry land, forms the lifeline of Chobe National Park, a place where sky and earth seem to meet in nature's humid breath. From its course emerges a rich ecosystem that supports hundreds of wildlife species and shapes the lives of local communities, such as the Bazubia and Baye peoples. The area known as the Chobe Riverfront hosts the highest concentration of African elephants on the continent, with densities reaching up to 1.2 individuals per square kilometer. These giants tower majestically over the open woodland landscape, standing up to 3 meters at the shoulder and weighing around 6 tons. Their enormous ears, roughly 1.8 meters wide, not only distinguish them but also help dissipate heat and regulate body temperature under the scorching sun. The trunk, flexible and composed of over 40,000 muscle bundles connecting the nose and upper lip, allows them to breathe, smell, feel textures, and grasp objects with precision. With a single inhale, they can draw up to 8 liters of water, enough to instantly quench their thirst. The tusks, modified incisors, serve to dig wells, strip bark, and break branches, essential skills during the dry season. Their thick skin, close to 2.5 centimeters, retains moisture, acts as a barrier against insects, and helps regulate body temperature. Of the approximately 15,000 elephants remaining in Africa, Botswana shelters around 130,000. Each herd functions as a tightly knit community, led by an experienced matriarch. They care for one another, protect the calves, share water sources, and show signs of mourning when a member dies. Their extraordinary memory allows them to navigate ancient trails and locate hidden waterholes during the harshest droughts. They also communicate through low-frequency sounds that travel for kilometers, even transmitting through the ground as subtle vibrations. Though unseen, they remain connected through almost invisible signals, from the gentle touch of a trunk to coordinated steps. Every movement becomes a language. When the dry season stretches on and the Chobe riverbank vegetation fades, elephants leave the riverine forests, cross scorching sands, and move toward open plains or remaining water sources. A single individual can consume up to 150 kilos of plant matter per day: grasses, leaves, bark, and fruits, acting as a true ecosystem engineer, preparing the land for future generations. Gestation lasts about 22 months, with intervals of 3 to 6 years between births, creating a slow reproductive rhythm. Because of this, the species is considered vulnerable according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature in 2024. An elephant can live between 60 and 70 years, witnessing the cycles of rain and drought that shape the Serondella region again and again. The imposing silhouette of the Angolan giraffe glides gracefully through the flooded areas. They rise like living towers across the landscape, reaching heights of 4 to 6 meters, the neck alone measuring 2 to 2.5 meters. Seems like a pillar connecting the earth to the sky. Even at birth, the calves are already around 2 meters tall. Their deep eyes, framed by long lashes, are protected from dust and insects, while a short tail tipped with a small tuft complements their steady, elegant stride. Giraffes typically form flexible groups of 5 to 20 individuals, with membership shifting according to the season and availability of food. They generally group by sex. Young males gather and practice necking, sparring contests that test their strength. Upon reaching adulthood, many males lead solitary lives, joining other groups only briefly while foraging. They prefer tender leaves, shoots, and young branches, especially from acacias, and with a tongue up to 45 centimeters long. Combined with thick, tough lips, they can maneuver among thorns without injury. An adult consumes about 34 kilos of vegetation per day, clearing the high foliage and allowing other species access to the lower layers. In the Savuti marshes, their range is broad but less demanding than in semi-arid regions. Because they do not defend territories, their paths often overlap without provoking disputes, maintaining harmony within the local ecosystem. By 2024, the Angolan giraffe population increased to around 2,200 individuals in the wild, a gain driven by reintroduction programs and rigorous conservation efforts. Yet challenges remain: habitat loss from agricultural expansion. Logging, fires, and poaching continue to pose significant threats. In November 2024, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service proposed listing the species as threatened, a reminder that their survival still requires constant attention. Under the soft morning mist, a familiar silhouette cuts through the air against the deep blue sky. It is the African fish eagle, a vibrant emblem of the continent's wildlife and the undisputed ruler of these skies. Its white head, neck, and tail contrast with a brown body and dark wings with metallic reflections, a picture-perfect beauty within the natural landscape. They reach about 60 centimeters in height, with a wingspan of up to 2.4 meters. Females are generally larger than males, a rare trait among birds of prey. Their steady posture evokes a solitary warrior silently watching over the fragile life unfolding beneath the open horizon. Its prolonged call, hi-yo, echoes across the water's surface. Often called the voice of Africa, this almost sacred sound seems to arise from the earth itself, an ancestral melody defining the wildness of Savuti. Every gesture of this species reflects millions of years of evolution within the genus Haliaeetus. They share lineage with the bald eagle and the white-tailed eagle. Their eyesight is 3 to 3.5 times sharper than that of humans, able to spot the glint of a fish from hundreds of meters away. Nature has granted them extraordinary precision for diving from great heights. The cyclical floods of the Savuti marshes create a perfect hunting stage. When water levels rise, fish multiply, providing an abundant food source. From high branches, the eagle observes patiently, analyzing each ripple before plunging in a rapid dive. Its talons, equipped with tiny spines called spicules, secure slippery fish with no chance of escape. They can capture prey between 1.8 and 3.6 kilograms, sometimes even approaching their own weight. If they cannot take flight after a catch, they use their wings as paddles, swimming toward the shore while dragging their prize under the bright sun. Although fish make up the majority of their diet, their versatility is remarkable. They can hunt flamingos, waterfowl, herons, turtle hatchlings, monkeys, and even young crocodiles. During the dry season, they broaden their diet further and will scavenge when necessary. This adaptability is crucial for surviving in a world where life and death intertwine like silent currents beneath calm waters. Socially, they form monogamous pairs as solid as the underground aquifers that traverse Savuti. They build enormous nests from branches, reused year after year, sometimes exceeding 2 meters in diameter. These nests are usually placed in tall trees near water, providing both a lookout and protection for their territory. They hunt together and share food, a reminder that cooperation is also an essential part of wildlife life. Within the ecosystem, these birds are discreet guardians of freshwater. Their presence indicates good environmental health, as they avoid polluted areas while occupying the top of the food chain. They regulate populations of fish and waterfowl, maintaining the natural balance of the Savuti marshes. And so concludes one of the most revealing battles of the African savannah. Under the scorching sun and the scent of hot dust, the African warthog, a humble yet fierce creature when life demands, has shown that even the smallest can challenge giants. Its scarred body, labored breathing, and eyes filled with pure determination tell a story rarely seen, the silent struggle of the weak refusing to vanish. In this vast land where death lurks behind every blade of grass, the warthog runs not only to save itself, but for its young, for its lineage, for the legacy entrusted to it by nature. Its fierce endurance, instinctive bravery, and ability to find strength even in fear remind us of a simple yet powerful truth in the savannah. No one is doomed as long as they keep fighting. Here, there are no favorites. The hunter can fail. The hunted can become unpredictable. And life always finds a way to surprise. Every encounter, every chase, every second where life hangs by a thread serves as a reminder of the delicate balance sustaining this ecosystem. The survival of the warthog, the lion, and every creature roaming these plains contributes to the enduring rhythm of nature, an eternal cycle of strength, opportunity, and inevitable choices. If this story moved you, if it deepened your admiration for the grandeur and harshness of the wild, we invite you to leave a like and subscribe to Beast Call Nature. in the burning heart of the African savannah, where the wind sweeps golden dust across the plains and the sun shows no mercy, two predators prepare for a deadly encounter. One is swift and stealthy, the African wildcat, a silent hunter with cold focus and lightning reflexes. The other is patient and venomous, a serpent armed with a lethal power capable of ending life in seconds. Here, in this unforgiving land, every movement can decide fate. The precision of the feline against the venom of the reptile. Strategy against instinct. In nature, there are no heroes and no villains, only survivors. In this clash, life and death meet in the blink of an eye, revealing the perfect and sometimes harsh balance that rules the wild. Welcome to the showdown between lethal venom and the unerring accuracy of a master hunter. Across the golden grasslands, a slender silhouette glides effortlessly over the dry earth. Long legs move with elegance, and tall ears swivel at the slightest whisper carried by the wind. This is the serval, Africa's long-limbed wild cat, built for hunting in the tall savanna grasses. Unlike predators that rely on brute strength, this feline masters stealth and pinpoint accuracy. With nothing more than a faint rustle beneath the grass, it can detect prey with astonishing precision, missing by less than a centimeter. Suddenly, its muscles coil and launch upward. In an explosive burst of energy, the serval rises nearly 3 meters into the air, an immaculate leap that blends speed, power, and perfect calculation. But this time, it wasn't after a mouse or a fluttering bird. Hidden beneath the thick grass moved another threat, a snake, its body sliding in slow waves. Sunlight glinting off its scales like tiny blades. Within those coils lay a deadly weapon, venom. The air grew still. The serval crouched low, tracking every subtle shift of the reptile. Instinct met instinct, speed against toxin, precision against peril. In a single heartbeat, both struck. The serpent's hiss collided with the cat's swift blow. A moment later, silence returned. The snake lay motionless. serval stepped back, eyes fixed on the fallen enemy. Its breathing remained steady, controlled. It had prevailed, but in Africa, victories never last long. Danger is always waiting. For the serval, survival itself is the ultimate achievement. It must stay alert, keep moving, constantly listening, for even hunters can become hunted. A single lapse in vigilance could mean a swift end beneath the claws of a leopard or a lion. Rulers of the savannah. Such is the life of the serval, a hunter driven by ancient instincts. The same spirit of survival that has carried wild cats through countless generations. As the sun rises once more over the semi-desert of southern Africa, it burns away the thin veil of mist drifting above the warm earth. Beyond the horizon, among rocky hills and dry scrublands where the wind carries the scent of dust and the distant calls of birds, another predator rules its domain. This is the caracal warrior of the desert plains and the arid mountains. While the serval thrives in moist grasslands and dense vegetation, the caracal prefers open, sun-scorched landscapes dotted with thorny bushes and fractured stone. Here, it finds the perfect shelter from which to disappear into the terrain and strike in a fraction of a heartbeat. Its body, more compact and powerful than that of the serval, is cloaked in a sandy coat that blends seamlessly with the parched ground and glaring sunlight. Its upright ears, tipped with long black tufts, resemble slender spears. These not only sharpen its hearing, but also serve as silent communication signals between individuals hidden in the shadows. And its amber-colored eyes reflect the harsh brilliance of the desert eyes belonging to a hunter that rarely blinks. The caracal can launch itself nearly 3 meters straight into the air, one of the most astonishing vertical leaps of any feline. With that explosive strength, it can snatch birds from the sky or subdue prey with a single, well-aimed strike. Unlike the serval, graceful yet reserved, the caracal hunts with boldness, confidence, and a fierce sense of pride, a true warrior of the drylands. By midday, the earth cracks under the heat. and the air shimmers as if aflame. Among the shrubs, a flock of helmeted guinea fowl scratches for food fast. Watchful birds, though vulnerable when grounded for too long. Not far away, the caracal waits. Its body remains perfectly still within the golden brush, only its ears shifting as they collect every faint sound. Its yellow eyes focus on the edge of the flock. A gentle gust hides its scent, and in a blur of motion, the feline launches forward. The leap is so swift that the human eye can barely follow it. The strike is clean and precise. This is how the caracal hunts silent, calculated and deadly. Besides guinea fowl, it also captures rodents, hares, small birds, and even young antelopes when the opportunity arises. Its varied diet allows it to endure the harshest environments on the continent, a versatile hunter that seldom tastes hunger. The air was warm, and the forest vibrated with the steady chorus of cicadas. Beneath fractured sunlight falling across the ground, a silent shadow drifted between the trees. It was the leopard solitary, stealthy and flawlessly deadly. Unlike the quick-footed serval of the grasslands or the caracal that rules the arid hills, the leopard claims the dim canopy as its kingdom. It is one of Africa's most widespread big cats, thriving from the misty forests of the Congo to the golden plains of the Serengeti. No habitat is too harsh for it. While lions rely on the strength of the pride and cheetahs trust in sheer speed, the leopard survives through independence. In solitude, it finds unmatched strength. Its body is a perfect blend of power and agility, crafted for control and precision. The golden coat marked with black rosettes offers not only beauty but camouflage, turning the leopard into a living whisper among branches and shifting light. Its deep amber eyes watch with calm certainty, as if familiar with the thin line between life and death. It does not need to roar or chase recklessly. Its power lies in patience. A leopard can shadow its prey for hours or even days, waiting for the exact moment to strike. And when that moment arrives, everything happens in absolute silence, a swift leap, a decisive bite to the throat, and the forest returns to stillness. After the hunt, it drags its prize into the treetops, far from lions and hyenas. There, high above the forest floor, it feeds in peace, master of the shadowed world beneath its paws. Few creatures ever see it, yet all fear its presence. The leopard is the unseen ruler, the golden phantom of Africa's wild heart. In the distance, a calm morning breaks through the riverside trees as the leopard melts back into its realm of quiet and twilight. Sunlight filters through the canopy, casting soft gold across the ground. Far ahead, baboons squabble noisily, their cries fading into the warm breeze. A troop of over a dozen moves through the forest, alpha males leading with sharp fangs flashing under the light. Clever and cautious, they remain alert to danger. One faint sound is enough to send the troop into frantic screams and sudden retreat. In the cover of shade, the leopard waits, every muscle tightened like a drawn bow. Its gaze locks onto a small young baboon lagging behind. There will not be a second chance. Then it moves, a single bound a blur through the branches. Silence falls. The strike is perfect, swift, without hesitation. In the leopard's cold, steady eyes, the eternal law of the wild is clear. The strongest hunters make no noise. They need only one silent, flawless move. When the roar fades, the forest slowly regains its quiet rhythm. The cycle of life moves on, steady and unchanged. From the serval to the caracal, and from the caracal to the leopard, every predator shares the same instinct to ensure the survival of its kind. During the mating season, males mark their territories with scent and deep, resonant calls that echo across the landscape. Females in heat travel through several territories, seeking the strongest partner, one capable of protecting them in the most perilous days. When the time arrives, the female retreats to a hidden shelter, a rocky crevice, a dense thicket, or the hollow of an old tree where she gives birth to her cubs, tiny, blind, and utterly fragile. In the first weeks, she rarely leaves them, hunting quietly and shifting their hiding place every few days to avoid predators. Slowly, she teaches them the laws of the wild, how to move without sound, how to scale a tree, how to vanish under the sun. These lessons decide whether they will live or fall to the dangers around them. The path to adulthood is unforgiving. Many cubs will not survive. Hunger, sickness, and lethal enemies stalk them. Lions may kill a cub to remove a future rival. Hyenas and pythons follow the scent of blood, and humans with traps, rifles, and fires remain the greatest threat of all. Yet the leopards endure. Mothers raise their young with instinct and courage, carrying forward a legacy shaped by thousands of generations. In this untamed world, nothing is stronger than the will to live. From the golden grasslands to the deepest forests, these feline warriors continue their ancient journey through life. In the African wilderness, instinct alone decides who will live to see the dawn. Where are you watching this journey into the wild? Tell us in the comments, and subscribe to Call of the Wild so you don't miss the fierce and thrilling battles of the natural world. Across the wide golden plains of the Serengeti, just before the sun breaks through the early morning haze, the still air begins to stir with life. Through the thin mist and clusters of dry grass, small, graceful shapes appear, animals with upright ears and wide, alert eyes. They are Thompson's gazelles. They are not tall or threatening, nor do they carry massive horns or fearsome tusks. Yet their presence is vital to the living tapestry of the African savannah. The Thompson's gazelle, affectionately called the Tommy, is one of the most abundant species in East Africa. Slender and athletic, they stand barely 60 to 90 centimeters high and weigh no more than 30 kilograms. But beneath that delicate appearance lies a creature built for survival. Every muscle is lean, firm, and precise. Their long legs work like springs, ready to launch them at any moment. When danger appears, they can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour and pivot with astonishing agility, outmaneuvering even skilled hunters like cheetahs and lions. On the open plain, a female gazelle stands motionless, watching the horizon. Beside her, a newborn calf struggles to find its footing, learning to run almost before it can walk. Life in the Serengeti begins fragile and uncertain, yet determined. Young gazelles are born with a natural talent for hiding. Their dark brown side stripes blend seamlessly into the golden grass. When the dry season arrives, the green fades, and the last pools of water vanish. The Thompson's gazelles begin their long trek. Following the rains, they join millions of wildebeest zebras and grants gazelles in one of the greatest migrations on Earth, a living tide crossing the Serengeti and the Masai Mara. By midday, under the blistering sun, the wind whispers over brittle grass. The waterholes have dried into cracked earth marked with the footprints of countless animals. The gazelle herd gathers beneath scattered acacias, nibbling the last dry stems that still hold traces of moisture. It seems peaceful, but tension lies hidden beneath the yellow carpet of grass. A predator is closer than ever. Unlike lions or hyenas that rely on power or numbers, the cheetah is a master of pure speed, a solitary warrior who gambles everything on a single moment. There are no second chances, no room for mistakes, then only two outcomes: the hunt succeeds or hunger continues for another day. Crouched low among the scrub, the female cheetah waits. Her spotted coat merges with patches of sunlight and shadow, creating near-perfect camouflage. Only by watching closely can one see the muscles tightening beneath her skin. Her breathing grows slow and deep, like a spring coiling to release. The distance is 70 meters. The wind is in her favor. A young gazelle has wandered from the herd, chasing a butterfly, unaware it has been chosen. The chase erupts in an instant. Dust rises. The gazelle runs, twisting and leaping, but fate has already turned. Within seconds, the cheetah brings it down. As she regains her breath, she begins to feed her first meal in nearly 3 days. She eats quickly, not out of greed, but necessity. Every passing moment risks losing everything. The Thompson's gazelle, one of the savannah's swiftest, has lost this deadly race. Not because it was weak, but because nature's balance shifted in the precise and relentless machinery of the wild. Every hunt is a trade-off. One life ends so another can continue. There is no good or evil. No fairness or unfairness, only laws. Laws older than humankind and destined to outlast us. As the sun sinks westward, the cheetah's shadow stretches across the ground. She drags the gazelle into the brush, away from hungry eyes. No sound, no glory, just a meal, and one more day to survive. Silent and elusive, it lives in a hidden world ruled by darkness, a realm few creatures truly sense. This is the African aardvark, a remarkable animal with a pig-like snout, rabbit-shaped ears, a thick kangaroo-style tail, and powerful curved claws built for digging. Known in Afrikaans as the aardvark, it is the lone survivor of an ancient lineage, the last representative of the order Tubulidentata, so unique that no other animal on Earth closely resembles it. When night blankets the savannah, it slowly rises from its deep underground den, where it has rested through the heat of the day. Its long ears stay alert, its nose works tirelessly, and its gait remains cautious and low to the ground. It follows the same nightly rhythm that has sustained its species for millions of years. Its first mission is always food. Its diet, unchanged since ancient times, consists of ants and termites, tiny architects of the soil. With a remarkable sense of smell and sharp hearing, the aardvark pinpoints an active mound beneath the hardened earth. Calmly, it approaches and tears through the soil with its strong front claws, breaking it apart in moments. Then comes its secret weapon, a long, sticky pink tongue nearly 30 centimeters in length. It slides effortlessly into the tunnels, trapping panicked termites fleeing in all directions. In a single night, it can consume tens of thousands of insects with no chase, no aggression, only skill, patience, and a body engineered to dig and feed. But the aardvark is far more than an insect hunter. It is one of the great engineers of the savannah. Its burrows, stretching up to 10 meters and branching into multiple exits, offer much more than shelter for itself. Once abandoned, these underground homes become sanctuaries for many species. Honey badgers, snakes, owls, and even young hyenas often rely on these cool, protected chambers. Without knowing it, the aardvark creates life-saving refuges for animals unable to dig their own. Despite its digging strength, it remains peaceful and vulnerable. If threatened by a leopard or hyena, it has little means of defense. It will flee or disappear underground, frantically tunneling until it escapes danger. Only when cornered does it rely on its powerful claws as a last resort. Its survival does not depend on battle, but on endurance and steady routines, a strategy that has carried it through ice ages and massive environmental shifts. On dry nights, when the land cracks and the savannah seems lifeless, the aardvark continues its timeless journey. It moves along dusty paths, avoiding moonlight and staying clear of the eyes of nocturnal hunters. Every step is like a quiet conversation with the earth, and earth it understands through scent, vibration, and the touch of its feet. And when dawn paints the sky in pale gray, the old architect returns to its den, sinks into darkness, and leaves behind only faint prints on the red dust. Small, stocky, and moving with a slightly awkward gait, the honey badger Mellivora capensis embodies a fearless spirit, bordering on reckless. While most animals avoid danger, this creature confronts it head-on. It is compact, barely exceeding 70 centimeters in length and weighing less than 15 kilograms. Yet anyone who has witnessed one in a fight never forgets it. During the day, the honey badger rests in abandoned aardvark burrows. These cool, hidden tunnels provide shelter from the scorching sun and the watchful eyes of predators. But when night falls, it emerges, blurring the line between hunter and prey. Unlike the peaceful aardvark, the honey badger is a true omnivore. It feeds on insects, reptiles, birds, eggs, rodents, and even venomous snakes. Its skin is thick and elastic, offering near impenetrable protection. Even the fangs of an African cobra rarely penetrate it. If bitten, the badger may briefly enter a paralyzed state, collapsing for several hours, only to awaken, shake itself off, and resume devouring the same snake that attacked it. Its low, muscular body, short legs, and flexible spine allow it to twist and turn quickly, even under threat from lions or hyenas, turning defense into a counterattack. Equipped with powerful jaws, knife-like claws, and audacious courage, it is often avoided by larger predators. But the honey badger is not only brave, it is remarkably intelligent. Observers have documented it using tools, sticks, rocks, and even manipulating latches to escape enclosures. Clever, stubborn, and strategic, it knows how to flush a snake from its burrow, shoo vultures away from carrion, or even work with the greater honey guide bird to locate hidden beehives. As afternoon fades across southern Africa, a warm breeze stirs the dust among dry grasses, and the sun sinks low, casting its golden glow across the cracked earth. In this calm tension lingers a prelude to an inevitable encounter. From beneath a low bush, a robust black shape emerges. The honey badger moves with its nose to the ground, sniffing carefully. Every step is deliberate, its gaze intense. Suddenly, a sharp hiss cuts the air. Before it rises an African cobra, nearly 2 meters long, coiled like a living rope. Its hood flared in a universal warning display. They study each other. The snake lifts its head, tongue flicking to gauge distance. Its dark eyes glint with disdain and caution alike, aware that this small opponent is not easily subdued. What follows is more than a confrontation. It is an ancient declaration: I may be small, but fear will never touch me. And that is precisely why it bears its name, the honey badger. The diminutive warrior of the savannah, a living symbol of courage that defies reason. It has a taste for honey, wax, and bee larvae. Yet wild hives in Africa are no easy prize. They are often hidden high in trees or deep crevices, guarded by thousands of African bees, among the most aggressive species on the planet. Still, the honey badger does not retreat. With its curved claws, it tears through the hive relentlessly, while the air buzzes with furious insects. Stings cover its face and eyes, the only areas with little fur, yet it barely flinches. Amid the roar of bees and the crackle of wax, it devours every piece of comb, every sweet, juicy larva. It eats methodically, as if pain does not exist. Everything about the honey badger, its swaying gait, hunting style, and fearless response to danger radiates a fierce, almost irrational energy. One cannot help but wonder, how can such a small creature survive in a land ruled by lions, leopards, cobras, and hyenas? The answer lies not just in its claws or jaws, but in its unbreakable will. In Africa, survival does not always favor the biggest or the fastest, but the one who never backs down. And so, in the dense silence of night, while other creatures hide cautiously, the honey badger marches on. It seeks no attention and craves no glory. Yet every deliberate, steadfast step it takes becomes legend across the sun-scorched plains of the African continent. A tiny creature, yes, but one no living being dares underestimate. Amid the vast golden plains, a small figure glides gracefully under the first rays of dawn. Its upright ears and golden eyes catch the early light. It is the jackal, the proud survivor of the savannah, a living symbol of resilience, intelligence, and an indomitable spirit in the wild. In a world dominated by lions and hyenas, this tiny creature plays a quiet yet vital role, keeping the eternal cycle of life in balance. Every being, no matter how small, is a thread in the great tapestry of the earth, where no life exists without purpose. Measuring less than a meter in length, standing under half a meter tall, and weighing only 10 to 15 kilos, it hides extraordinary strength and unmatched agility within its slender frame. Evolution has shaped it over thousands of generations. Every tooth, every step, every movement is honed for a single goal: adapt and survive in a world where a single mistake can be fatal. As the sun rises and the savannah awakens, antelopes sprinting, zebras braying, flocks of birds cutting across the sky, the solitary jackal begins its search for food. Moving silently, guided by instinct, it is a master of adaptation. A mouse hiding in the grass, an insect nest beneath tree roots, or scraps left behind by larger predators all become nourishment in a harsh land where only the swiftest endure. Yet it does not rely solely on leftovers. When opportunity strikes, its predatory instincts surge. With explosive speed, precise leaps, and unwavering determination, the jackal proves that even the smallest hunter can command its own hunt. Across the endless African plains, the line between predator and prey is as delicate as the wind that sweeps over the tall grass. And yet, it is this fragile balance that shapes the perfection of nature and eternal harmony, where every creature, big or small, contributes its rhythm to the infinite symphony of life. Across the vast plains of Africa, where the sun sets the rhythm of life and death, every creature fights its own battle. The wildcat prowls silently through the tall grass. The snake glides unseen beneath the scorching earth. The leopard watches from the shadows, and the cheetah races with the wind to seize a fleeting moment of survival. The aardvark digs in the darkness, searching for shelter and sustenance, while the honey badger, small, fearless, and relentless, confronts the most formidable foes without hesitation. Here, in the heart of the untamed continent, the struggle to live never ceases. Every confrontation, every chase, every narrow escape is part of an ancient balance, a reminder that nature does not reward brute strength, but the ability to adapt. In this unforgiving world, every life, no matter how humble, carries purpose, a story written with courage and perseverance. The African savannah teaches us that true greatness is not about dominance, but survival. And as the final rays of sunlight fade beyond the horizon, we realize that the fight for life itself is the eternal heartbeat of the earth. If you are captivated by the strength and beauty of the wild, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell on our channel, Wild Call TV. Join us on the next adventure to discover even more incredible stories from nature.